Give you a stand up, huh?
Stand up for the working man.
That's right. You get up, you stand up. Don't be afraid to speak up. Corporate America can't hurt you. They're only people after all. That's what the Supreme Court tells you.
City Hall. Every American out there that's attending college or anything, think back to your family and see if there wasn't a working class person that could have been. Because we are the ones that put this country together. And let's keep it that way. Mr. Miles as well. Again, thank you for coming out today. Give yourselves a hand. My name is Chuck Bader Jr. I'm a Vice President of the Colorado AFL-CIO and Trustee of the Colorado Springs Area Labor Council. Is there anybody here who disagrees with Governor Walker in Wisconsin? Let's say it loud enough this time to where he can hear it all the way across the miles. Does anybody disagree? Outstanding! Well, we're here today to show what has made the union movement and this country so great. And what that is people of all nations, of all races, of all classes standing together. We are privileged today to have speakers from the union movement, the Democratic Party, the Lady Dems, veterans organizations, and countless others, and we thank them all for coming out today. Do we as Americans ever give up any right that we have fought for and won?
No!
Do we as Americans roll over and let corporate greed shut us down?
No!
Do we as Americans let the minority of special interest and corporate CEOs override the common good and interest of the working class?
No!
Outstanding. Well, to hear different perspectives of this message, which is defending workers' rights, it is my privilege and my honor to introduce to you Brother Jeremy Crono, President of Firefighters Union, Local 5. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Lot of experience with bullhorns, so bear with me. Sisters and brothers, again, my name is Jeremy Crono.
Speak up.
I'm president of the Colorado Springs Professional Firefighters Association. We're standing here today in support of working people across our great nation. There is something inherently wrong with an agenda that punishes public employees for their service while completely ignoring the corporate CEOs that have taken taxpayer-funded bailouts, run their corporations and banks into the ground, outsourced American jobs to third-world countries, and then made off with taxpayer-funded bonuses.
Across our country who were being fired based on their orientation, and they did this at great peril to their organization. In 1978, the union stood against Proposition 6 in California that would have made it mandatory to fire all gay and lesbian teachers. In 1992, our union brothers and sisters stood with us in Colorado against Amendment 2 and the H-70 court from that unconstitutional amendment. And in 2011, I stand here. I stand here as a lesbian with my union brothers and sisters and proudly say that the LGBT community supports workers' rights. We stand with Wisconsin teachers and public employees to demand a living wage and the right to collective bargaining. We stand hand in hand with those who have stood with us through the decades. The LGBT community stands as one with you.
values. And those aren't just Democratic Party values. Those are values of a democracy. When I go to Mexico, we go there a lot because my husband works there. In a little twist of commuting, he works there and I'm up here. But when we go down there, our Mexican friends say, we're so lucky to be here in a country that has a strong middle class.
Yes.
They live for years with two classes, the rich and the poor. And if we don't get going and we don't pay attention to what's going on, that's exactly what's going to happen in this country. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and the middle class is disappearing.
That's right.
The unions have been instrumental for over 60 years in helping those who wanted to grow and to achieve a measure of success for themselves and their families. If you work a 40-hour week, thank the unions. If you work a 5-day week, thank the unions. If you have health benefits, thank the unions. And if you're not in a union and you have health benefits, thank the unions because they listen.
Veteran of the United States Army, a very proud husband, father, and grandfather. My wife is an honored member of the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 1345. My 21-year-old daughter is a fourth-generation union member. But enough about my life.
Get serious now, folks.
Today I stand here to represent my targeted brothers and sisters in the state of Wisconsin, who serve the public each day with pride and honor. These are the men and women who educate our future leaders of America. These are the men and women who take care of our sick and our elderly. The men and women who save our homes from burning down. The same men and women who ensure our children do not drink sewage from the water fountains in city parks. The same men and women that Governor Scott Walker wants to force into bondage. The same working families that helped to elect him by walking door to door, making hours of endless phone calls so other families could believe in him and elect him. These are the working families he wants to turn his back on and strip of the American dream. That's why we must stand together, not only as unions, but as Americans, and say, let my people go.
Yeah.
State Representative Michael Merrifield is currently running for City Council. I am proud to be here. And to the people who rode by and said, get back to work, I am at work. Yeah. He should join us. This is not about the money. I repeat, it is not about the money. Whatever the fiscal crisis Wisconsin is facing, it has not been caused by labor unions or their pensions. The economy is in the tank. Blame Wall Street. Blame politicians who gave Wall Street free rein. Blame the banks. Blame an insane, unregulated housing market. Blame lax regulations, but don't blame unions for a crisis they did not create. In Wisconsin, you can blame Governor Walker for signing 2 business tax credits and a conservative health care policy that lowers tax revenue without providing a way to fill the gaps. In spite of the fact that Walker has manufactured this crisis himself, Wisconsin unions are willing to sacrifice to do their part, offering to double their health care contributions and increase their contributions to their pensions, solving his budget crisis on their backs. And to those who say, the people have spoken, they elected him, not true. Walker never, ever said one word about ending collective bargaining when he campaigned. This is not about the money, and to those who are sure to attack and criticize me for having the gall to appear at this rally, it's also not about any particular city council race. It's about the power. It's a blatant power grab. It's about destroying the balance between employer and